heteropatriarchy. What is that?
It's exactly what you think it might be. It's like patriarchy, but then like making sure we're talking about heterosexuality
Straight
too.
men.
So like just like straightness, period.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I think it's a very dominant source that everybody has to try to live up to.
Thank you. You're supposed to live up to it. That's why it's hetero.
Well, I think it's oppressive to everybody.
Jesse Lee Peterson is shocked by this woke lesbian American Indian crying that straight people are oppressing homosexuals with their heterosexuality in this debate, as Jesse Lee Peterson calls out the poor logic of this argument, claiming you're oppressed for being told to do the very thing you were always meant to do. Let's get in.
How is native feminist theory different from feminism?
Because we talk about settler colonialism.
What does that mean?
Well, like, we talk about the colonization of the United States, right? And how it's a settler colony, how, settlers came here to stay, right? And to take over, not just to be here.
Right.
So white feminism doesn't have that feature. And we actually all talk, native feminism talks about hope and about trying to find a different way to be in the world. I feel like it's a very different kind of philosophy. We're actually not just interested in victimhood, because if we were, right, that would be, we would never get anywhere with that.
But who came up with this? Who decided, let me call it native feminist theory? Who came up with it? And don't you have to be high to come up with stuff like that, like hallucinating?
No, I think it's brilliant, and I'm very proud to be a part of that field.
Did you make up that theory?
No, I did. I'm just part of it.
Who made it up?
I mean,
go get your money back. I don't know how you sit around and you come up with ideas like that. You have to be hallucinating with the peyote or on some pot.
No, that's actually not true.
But you don't know who created this idea?
Well, I'm not sure who I want to give credit to for that. Because, that's the thing. There's actually a long history of native feminisms, right? Do you talk about the native women who were, because that's the thing, native nations, men and women have different roles, and there's also two-spirited people, queer people in the nation. So everybody just has different roles. It's not like one is better than the other, right? Because you need somebody home, farming, taking care of the children, right? Preparing the food, doing their little gardens and stuff. And, men can go out and do warfare and go get beasts and stuff So, I feel like these things are complementary. It wasn't about one is better than the other. It was just.
I want to ask you this really fast. You said that homosexuality is normal to you.
Yes.
And LGBTQ and all that is normal.
Yes.
And so if a man put on a dress and lipstick and say that he is a woman, is he really a woman, or he just think he is, but in reality he is not?
If he believes he's a woman, if she believes she's a woman, she's a woman. So.
But in reality, it's not. You just believe that.
It depends on. No. I believe that they get to be what they want to be.
But would you see a man, a woman in a pantsuit, and saying that she's a man, but you see with your eyes, you see as a woman, would you pretend that it is a man?
I would ask how they wanted to have their gender identified.
And you pretend that it's whatever they say?
I would respectfully believe that I'm going to respect their beliefs to identify as they wish.
But in your mind, you know it's not real.
It's real. It's real to me if it's real for them. So.
In your mind.
Do you think I'm passing as a woman right now?
Are you?
Am I a woman?
You just made me nervous, are you?
I don't know.
You don't know what you is?
Well, I'm just saying.
What you is. That's black. You don't know what you are? You don't know what you is? You don't know what you are?
No, I identify as a woman.
And why?
Because, that's how I want to identify.
Did God make you that way?
I don't think God made me that way. I think that
Were you born a woman or a female?
I was born a woman.
Oh, okay. Is there a difference between Native American women and white women?
I think Native women are better looking.
Better looking than white women? Ooh.
No, I always say that to my students. I'm like, if you learn one thing about Native people, it's that we're very good looking.
Are Native women better looking than black women?
I don't know.
Why you don't know that?
Well, because I'm like, I'm not gonna, the race, different other race stuff.
You scared to
So-
say that about the blacks.
Well, I'm not, I'm not messing with black
Otherwise,
people, so I'm
you're gonna
with
have
them.
Black Lives Matter burning down your house if you say.
Well, and I mean, it really does depend, obviously.
What does it mean to decolonize the native body?
Well, that's a very detailed question, right? Because one of the things, of boarding schools and of colonization period was to try to make it seem that our bodies are like nasty and not good, right? That they're unclean, they're filthy, right? So I think one of the things we need to do is to start thinking about like how our bodies are good, how we are good people, like how all of us is actually beautiful, instead of like trying to go to like white beauty standards or like not accepting ourselves as we are.
And so are white people making you feel inferior like that?
I'm not blaming that on, I mean, it's like, it's part of our culture. Our culture is very white dominated, right? It has very specific white standards of beauty.
So the white, quote unquote, dominated culture are making you and Indians feel less about their culture, less beauty, or they're making you feel that way.
Well, I'm just saying, when you have all the shows, like all the books, almost everything about Native people is very distorted or negative or doesn't actually have anything to do with us, has to do with actually with white people, then it's hard to feel good about your own self and your own body.
This argument I don't buy, because she's trying to describe the circumstance of being widely outnumbered by another population that has a different standard. And look, if say 98% of everybody is this people, well, then that's just kind of going to be the agreed on beauty standard. Like, if it was reversed, then it would probably have been that way. But that's just simply not the case. So when she talks about there not being movies and books and so forth, there's a pretty practical reason for why that is. It's not necessarily oppressive. It's just whoever the market is trying to appeal to. Like, people are going to make these things in order to get money back. If they don't think there's enough buyers or the market's not there, well, then it's not really going to be there. Like, who would they be appealing to if they were going to appeal to the absolute 1%? Like, isn't that what wokeness is? Appealing to the extreme minority, the most radical of the left, letting, the 5% try to tell 95% of everybody else what to do. If you inverted it, that's what you would have. So this isn't necessarily oppressive. And look, if they wanted their own movies and stuff like that, books and so forth, I mean, don't they own like a bunch of casinos? Like, there's plenty of Indians, I think they got some money too. So they could help fund, a local this or a small time this, and they could have, their own thing. Like, all right, that's fine. But I don't necessarily see that. Or maybe I just don't know, but yeah, I definitely don't know that's around. So just trying to blame everybody else for it, that's not really working.
You were not raised with both parents, your father and mother, right?
Right.
So do you believe that if you have been raised with both parents and you were close to your father, that you would be insecure like that?
Well, I mean, you'll be happy to know that I had a white stepfather.
I'm talking about your real father, though.
Well, I mean, I have no idea.
But just when you think about it, when you smoke on it, do you believe that? Do you believe that if you were close to your father, he was there, your mother and father were together, you loved your father, that white people or anyone can make you feel inferior?
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
You think you would still feel inferior?
I don't feel inferior.
But the Indians that white people make them feel that way, if they were raised as with two parents, decent examples, would they still be made to feel inferior?
Well, I think we should talk about why they don't get to be two-parent households, right?
Because they're not getting married.
Well, also because, like, Native men, like black men, are incarcerated at very high rates. They're like serving our nation overseas.
They're committing crimes.
So, well, I mean, we're more likely to get caught too.
Right, and go to jail because they don't have money to get good lawyers.
Exactly.
So that ain't the white man's fault.
Well, I think it is, actually.
So the white man's to blame for everything.
Well, the thing is, no, I mean, because what I'm trying to say too is, like, working class white people are also not able to get like good lawyers, right?
Right.
But the racial profiling might not go, they might not get pulled over for being, driving while white, right?
But that's not true, that's made up. What the blacks are doing.
Well, that's what you and I completely disagree about that.
No,
so.
I'm black.
I know you're black,
I'm as black as the ace of spades.
Well, how many times have you been pulled over?
In my entire life?
I'm just
Maybe twice.
Saying,
I remember twice.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't think racial profiling had anything to do with those situations?
Not one iota.
So.
Because I was raised different than the other blacks. I wasn't raised to hate the whites, blame other people. I wasn't born out of wedlock. You know, I have my stepfather, my mother got married before I was born, so I wouldn't be born out of wedlock. But black people, when I was growing up, black people got married. They believed in God. They loved all people. They treated everybody the same. So I wasn't blamed. I wasn't raised in a victim mentality. And so when I was stopped by the cops, I followed the instructions. They did what they needed to do. And they said, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And they went their way. But the blacks today are acting out. They're cursing out the cops. They're running. They're criminals. They're running. What do you think going to happen?
It's funny because exactly like Jesse Lee Peterson just mentioned, if you're going to argue with cops, if you're going to run, if you're going to do all this stuff, you're only making them have to chase you. You're only making them have to use force. And for the longest time, used to when they wanted to cancel cops for saying it was racist. And then, then all of a sudden they wanted to start crying for body cams, because they believed that all sorts of misuse of force was everywhere. And now that we have all this body cam footage that is readily available, I mean, seemingly all over the place, now you're seeing a whole different side of the story because just like Jesse mentioned, you can find video after video after video. I mean, there's just a plethora of content out there and more that just keeps on showing so many people acting out, disobeying cops, emotionally freaking out. And in the end, what do? They bring all this on themselves. And yes, it's not the same between all sorts of people of different colors. Yes, you see a lot more Black Americans doing this because they just can't act right. This is the single motherhood. This is the lack of fatherhood. This is the over emotionalization of individuals that you can't just stand there and just listen to the cop because otherwise you'd be fine.
Well,
how is that the cop's fault?
Well, I mean, it's very much. I mean, that's the thing, though. We're talking about structural inequalities that go back before the beginning of the United States. And you're not just going to, pretend that these things don't exist. You can. That's one of the ways you can go about
this. What did you say?
Structural inequalities.
What did that have to do with anything?
Well, if it's way harder for you to get housing, to get a job, to go to college, to have any ways to get ahead, that will make your life much harder to be successful in the U.S. version.
So are you saying that it's harder for the Indians or the blacks to get a job?
For both of us.
But the blacks don't get the job because they don't want the job. They're lazy.
I mean, that I disagree. I mean, they say the same thing about Indians.
Because and the Indians are that way too. You know why? Because the white people made a mistake by giving the Indians too much free stuff.
We did not get anything free. They
y'all
stole
got free
everything.
Land.
No, that land was ours.
Free gambling clubs and all kinds of stuff.
Well, because we're sovereign nations, we get to decide what we want to do on our nations.
But that makes you lazy, though.
I disagree.
And one thing about white people, they love to work. You notice that?
That's not what I've seen. They love to steal.
What did they steal?
Our land, our culture, they try to assimilate us. They wouldn't accept that we are the way we are. I could keep, instilled heteropatriarchy. I mean, all these different things that were very violent systems.
What do y'all want now from the whites? What do you want them to give you?
We've been wanting them to leave us alone for a long time.
But they don't bother you guys. You guys chase them.
They do bother us.
How do they bother you now?
They come in and they'll put nuclear waste on our nations without permission. I mean, there's still all these things happening. They will try to put pipelines through our nations.
That's amazing.
Even though we disagree.
But that would provide jobs.
Well, at the cost of destroying the land,
But they're not doing anything with the land anyway.
Well, we don't want a pipeline going over the water source of the whole nation.
Well,
Does that make sense? Especially when the white town was don't put it through our country, right? Don't put it through our place. Put it on the Indians' land, and that's exactly what they ended up doing.
I need you to define something for me. Heteropatriarchy. What is that?
It's exactly what you think it might be. It's like patriarchy, but then making sure we're talking about heterosexuality.
Straight
too.
men.
So, just straightness, period.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I think it's a very dominant source that everybody has to try to live up to.
Thank you. You're supposed to live up to it. That's why it's hetero.
Well, I think it's oppressive
They're
to
supposed
everybody.
bring-
Let me know down below if you agree with Jesse Lee Peterson that the idea of telling people what they are and what they're supposed to be is oppressive is utterly ridiculous, because you can look around in society today and find plenty of people who are basically running around lost because they weren't told that. It's just absolutely absurd. It's not oppressive. It's not domineering. The patriarchy is just doing what it needs to do to survive, and you live along with it. And the idea that white people just came in and stole everything, look, yes, there are cases like that as well. There are also cases to where there were treaties that were formed and we paid for the land. And then you also have, wars with other Indian tribes to where we fought for land, or against the Comanches, the biggest Indian tribe of them all that spanned from Texas to Montana and raided homesteads all along, the colonies as they were, or, controlled territory, I should say, in that case. And finally, people said, no, we're done with it. Now, you can argue one way or the other, but just the trope of just, oh, white people just stole everything. Like, no, that's not entirely true. That's just the woke perception of it, disregarding other facts as well. And did you also hear this woman complain about American Indians being caught at higher rates? Like, is that a bad thing? We're complaining about the criminals being caught for the behavior they chose to take part in. Like, how is that anybody else's fault? That just means you're a bad criminal. That means you're not very smooth about it, and maybe you should put a little bit more thought into before you chose to commit the crime in the first place. But folks, if you enjoy the channel, please consider subscribing, as most of you who watch are not. I'd really appreciate it. Hit that like button and let's get back in.
Heterosexual men are supposed to bring women and children out of the hell that they're in. That's why it's heteropatriarchy.
Well, they're failing, so you better get it together.
Because you guys are acting so rebelling.
Well, then you all are not doing a very good job, so.
I agree. Men are weak because the mama destroyed them when they were kids.
Well, I feel like we have to work together. I don't know why that would be such a bad thing.
Heteropatriarchy, so you're in favor of that?
No.
You're against that?
I critique it, yes. Well, I don't think I'm not completely, people can go and do that, but the fact it creates all this inequality that's the part I think is messed up.
You love heterosexual?
Do I love heterosexual? I think people can go be heterosexual. That's great.
What do you mean go be it? Do you love it though?
Do I love it? No.
Would you prefer a straight man or a gay man?
I don't prefer men. So
Oh, you like women?
I like different types of people. So
You mess around with women though?
yes.
You a lesbian?
Yes, I identify as queer woman.
You a lesbian?
Yeah, you didn't. How did you not get this from your research? I do queer indigenous theory. That's my other
but
thing.
I didn't know you were a lesbian.
Well, I identify as being queer.
But you don't look like a lesbian.
Well, what are we
No
supposed
wonder
to
you don't
look
want to have a
like?
baby.
Because I have more
You
options.
are a lesbian?
Yes. Yeah, you could. Identify as queer, but
A queer lesbian.
well, yeah, lesbian has its
I'm
own.
stunned that you're a lesbian.
So I don't live in the suburbs,
But why you look so feminine if you're a lesbian?
because that's the way I choose to, to be in the world.
To be feminine.
To
like
be
a lady.
feminine. To be, yeah.
And so do you like hard lesbians?
It depends on the person. Yeah.
You like lesbians that act like men?
It really depends on who it is. So,
Wow.
I also just really love beautiful women of all kinds of types. So,
But not that much love.
so. Well, I guess I do.
You have just blown me away. I was blown away once before. I was interviewing a white male Catholic kind of a guy, and he had his collar on, and I never thought of him as a homosexual.
Right.
And then he said to me he was a homosexual. I'm like, you're a homosexual? And then when he was sitting, it made me take my, focus my eyes, and I saw that he was homosexual.
Because we said it different.
Yeah. So how do the lesbians know that you're a lesbian?
I don't know.
So when you're out at the bar, do you wear your lesbian hat or something?
I guess you do kind of sense that somebody might be, queer, I guess. So, or not. You just ask people, right?
So what is it like knowing that you surprised me right now, that you're a lesbian, but you don't look like it, you don't act like it?
I actually love to be surprising.
Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about what Jesse Lee Peterson had to say, being completely shocked by this queer indigenous lesbians woke worldview. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.